Canucks are in front. Backhander scores. The puck back in. Campoli trying to clear it. Burrow just pressed. Lost the puck loose to Edwards. Back in for Alex. Burrow gets up in the air. Now McKinnon to the side. Oh! With the left glove. Are you kidding me? What a save.
Hey, Canucks Nation. Brandon Alston here, play-by-play for the Edmonton Canucks. You've got it locked in the line change. The Vancouver Canucks podcast.
What's up, Canucks Nation? Welcome to the Canucks versus Kraken post-game show. It is February 28th, the end of February. Can you guys believe it? It's the end of February already. We're almost into March. The Canucks end up losing. Oh my gosh. I just realized I messed up the score. The scoreboard is wrong. It was not 3-2. It was 5-1. Wow. I feel like a dud. But anyway, ignore that scoreboard right there. Like, at least the score. The shots are right. And the power plays are right. But the score is wrong. So ignore that. I can't believe I missed that. Anywho, Canucks end up losing 5-1 to the Seattle Kraken. And yeah, this game looked pretty darn sluggish, at least for the Canucks, in my opinion. But let's go ahead and just take a look at the score and the goals and just go ahead and do that. Get that scoreboard off the screen. Man, I can't believe I freaking did that. No, I can't change it on the fly, Irvin, because I did that through Photoshop. But let's take a look at the goals. First period, Vince Dunn gets things started for the Seattle Kraken, scoring his 9th of the season, assisted by Chandler Stevenson at 7:36 of the first period to make it 1-0. And then Chandler Stevenson, speaking of him, he would score his 14th of the season at 10:20, assisted by Adam Larson and Jaden Schwartz to make it 2-0 Seattle. Moving on to the second period, we had Liam Ogren scoring his 5th of the season, assisted by Connor Garland and P.O. Joseph at 8:28 to make it a 2-1 game. So to put the Canucks within one goal. And then, as I like to call him, the Canuck killer, Jordan Eberle, scores his 21st of the season unassisted at 13:46. That made it 3-1 for the Seattle Kraken. And then moving on to the third period, originally we thought this was Jordan Eberle's goal, which would have been his second goal of the game, but it was given to Matty Beniers because he deflected it. So the assist goes to Eberle. This was Beniers' 15th of the season on the power play at 11:56, also assisted by Chandler Stevenson. And then I just said Canuck killer. Jordan Eberle would officially score his second, but should have been his third of the game, into the empty net for his 22nd of the season, assisted by McCann and Alexiak at 17 minutes of the third period. And that was what sealed the deal, made it 5-1 Seattle. And that's your game. But let's take a look at the game stats real quick. 28 shots for the Canucks, 25 for the Kraken. The faceoff percentage was very lopsided, 68.8% for the Kraken, 33 out of 48. And 15 out of 48 for the Canucks, a whopping 31.3%. So obviously tonight, Canucks just didn't have it on the faceoff dot. Power play, the Kraken were 1 for 2, so they were at 50%. Canucks were a 0% as they went 0 for 2. Hits were 18-10 in favor of the Kraken. Block shots were 9-8 in favor of the Canucks. Giveaways were 18-11, and then takeaways were 7-2 in favor of the Canucks. For the season series, the first game of the series, obviously the Canucks won 3-2 in a shootout back on December 29th, which was actually their last road win. And then you had, in Vancouver, the Kraken winning it in a shootout on January 2nd in Vancouver. And then, of course, tonight, the Kraken win. So the Kraken are up 2-1 in the series, or in the season series, rather. So there's that. Now, let's take a look at the shots on goal. First period, Canucks had 9 shots on goal. The Kraken had 10. Second period, the Canucks once again had 9 shots on goal, while the Kraken only had 8. And then for the third period, the Canucks outshot the Kraken 10-7. Final shots, 28-25, as we mentioned. But let's go ahead and take a look at the game sheet and the forwards for the Canucks. Brock Besser, 18 minutes and 53 seconds of ice time. Nothing across the board for Brock Besser. And then you had Connor Garland, who had an assist, but was also a -1 and had a ice time of 16:26. 3 shots on goal. Drew O'Connor had a ice time of 12 minutes and 42 seconds, 3 shots on goal. Höglander was a -1 with 11 minutes and 6 seconds of ice time. Nothing across the board there for Höglander. And then Elias Pettersson was a -2 and had an ice time of 14 minutes and 20 seconds. Don't worry, we will talk about that in just a little bit later. And he had 1 hit. Teddy Bluger was a -1 with 15 minutes and 15 seconds of ice time, 2 shots, 2 hits. David Camp had an ice time of 12 minutes and 30 seconds, 1 shot on goal. And then you had Jake DeBrusk was a -1, 16 minutes and 23 seconds of ice time, 2 shots, 2 blocks. Evander Kane was a -2 and had an ice time of 16 minutes and 42 seconds, 2 shots, and then 1 hit. Liam Ogren, who had the lone Canuck goal, was a +1, 14 minutes and 5 seconds of ice time with 1 shot and 1 block. Then you had Marco Rossi, who was a -1, had 17 minutes and 14 seconds of ice time, 2 shots on goal. And then Linus Karlsson was a -2 with 14 minutes and 22 seconds of ice time. He had 3 shots and 1 hit. Moving on to the defensemen, we have Tom Verlander was a -1, 21 minutes and 20 seconds of ice time, 3 shots, 1 block. P.O. Joseph with a assist and was a +1, 13 minutes and 26 seconds of ice time, 1 shot. Philip Hronek was a -3 and had an ice time of 23 minutes and 59 seconds, 1 shot, 4 hits. Zeev Buium was a -1 with 21 minutes and 50 seconds of ice time, 1 shot, 1 block. DPD was a -1 as well, 17 minutes and 8 seconds of ice time, 1 shot, 4 blocks. And then you had Marcus Pettersson was a -1, which seems to be a bit of a trend for the defense. 20 minutes and 31 seconds of ice time, 2 shots, and 1 hit. And of course, the goaltenders, Kevin Lankinen, 4 goals against on 20 shots, 20 saves, and had a save percentage of .833. And there you go. So let's get Gerald in here. Oh, there you go.
What's up, guys? Just on time, right?
Yeah. Man, it's like Gerald's
Just in time.
like Joe Henry. I say his name and he appears. There we go.
There you go.
I like it.
What's going on, guys? Let's be honest here today. I think Tyler and I both just watched snippets of the game today. For myself, I watched most of the first, part of the second, and part of the third. So this post game, I only have a few things to talk about, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, how are things, Tyler? It's been a minute since our late night session again with the big brain. Brain.
Yeah, here, let me just actually, you know what? Yeah, let me just get us back to here. Oh no. There we go. Yeah, again,
Yeah.
ignore the scoreboard. I can't believe I did that.
I can take over right now, and then you can go change it.
Well, that means
If
I
you
have to
want.
open up Photoshop and everything. So it's honestly, it's okay. It's not a big of a deal. But anyway, you asked what's going on with me. Well, I got a little brace on. For context, I potentially might have tendonitis in my wrist. Something that happened at work on Thursday. So I spent most of today actually at a medical center down on Esplanade. So that's how I spent most of my day, getting checked out, whatnot. So it's not going to affect anything on the channel, just FYI. But so that's what's going on with me, dealing with that. Managed to get home, turn the game on, was like, with the way it was. But so yeah, there we go. There's what's up with me at least. And yeah, Urban, boo tendonitis. I know. I'm gonna be getting some imaging done on it, a X-ray and an ultrasound. So hopefully, fingers crossed. There, we don't want your EP40 like excuses. I know, but anyway, yeah, that's
at least you get some time off, and we can, like, we were just talking backstage about Friday, and potentially doing a trade deadline show.
Yeah.
So whoever's in chat, whoever's in X, let us know what you think and what time we should start, because I know a lot of the stations are starting at 7 in the morning.
I'm probably not going to do that.
Yeah, so we'll probably do something a tad later, just before noon, or maybe like after the whole trade deadline is done at noon Pacific, and then we'll run the show then.
Yeah, and actually, I can actually confirm, because I officially confirmed it. Tomorrow, I'm gonna have Clay on. We're gonna talk about trades, and do a trade talk video. So that is officially confirmed. 3:00 tomorrow. So write it on your calendar.
Oh, is it live?
Yeah, it'll be live for about 30
Nice.
to 35 minutes. I'm gonna have Clay on finally. I'm gonna have the Clay father on.
Clay father.
So, but yeah. Actually, you know what? Maybe I will actually go and hop off and change the scoreboard, because it's actually kind of really bothering me, staring at it. So I'll let you take over for a bit and entertain the folks, and I will open up Photoshop again and get that fixed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. So it's just me. We're doing this dry run, I guess. Actually, you know what? Since this is a post game, and we got to talk a little bit about the game, right? So some of the notes that I actually have was the first period, second goal, and how the shot was actually deflected off of Marcus Pettersson. But if you were actually watching the game, you would know that, Lankinen looked lost. Like, he was looking in one direction when he was looking to his left, but the puck was on the right. So I looked at the replay afterwards, and obviously there was a deflection, but throughout the game, it seemed like Lankinen was really shaky. And this is his first game since post-Olympics, right? But overall, in general, like, I don't know, it doesn't give us a lot of confidence in his goaltending. Because from my recollection of pre-Olympics, and it seems like it's been forever, 2 weeks ago, he was already letting in over 5 goals a game. So any game that he was actually playing, you can bet yourself that, the Canucks are going to give up 5. He gave up 4 today, and then the empty netter. So the empty netter, obviously, Joey Daccord tried to pull a Marty Brodeur and get that goal. It just missed by inches, and it was an icing. And eventually it was none other than, as Tyler says, the Canucks killer, Eberle, who, you know what? To bring some of the Olympics and World Juniors, I loved Eberle when he was playing for juniors. And, it would have been great if the Canucks had him at some point. There was a chance, but it never came to fruition, right? So Lankinen obviously second guessing himself a lot. First game back, it's fair, I guess. But given that track record pre-Olympics, at least 2 to 3 games, the Canucks were losing 5, whatever. It doesn't give us a lot of confidence. Whereas I know Tyler's going to be bringing this up a little later, is Tolopilo has been steadier, has gotten wins, has had less goals against. So if you're in chat, let us know, because Tyler would love to know, what your thoughts are on Tolopilo. And another thing that I really enjoyed watching, I mean, I've been calling this all season. all season for the Swedish connection, the Swedish touch, where you have PD centering a couple of Swedes, and you got Hoglander, and also Carlson, which, it looked okay. It didn't look out of place, but with what happened to PD blocking a shot, it's unfortunate. He didn't really play the third, and that this brings the question. And by the way, hey Russell, thanks for joining us, and thank you for the kind words. We will be looking to do a collab with you soon. And yeah, I mean, been harping at, why don't you try the Swedes on the same line, and they finally do. But back to PD getting potentially injured or just hurt. Yeah, man. I have to be with Russell on this one. Like, this guy's going in and out on, like, every shift he comes out, he's giving his all at blocking shots. Yes, some people are going to be like, oh, the 11.6 guy, we're paying him 11.6 to block shots. No, we're not. But that's part of his arsenal right now, right? That's what he's good at. But at the same time, how I feel about it is, why risk yourself getting injured? I mean, the season's already burnt right now. Like, they bottomed out. There's no way out of this, right? So maybe this is how PD is telling the younger kids, it doesn't matter if we're losing. You should still go in, shift out, give your best. And PD's been doing that on the defensive side. On the defensive side. Not the offensive side. I mean, he still needs to get a bit of his confidence back up. The very first game after the Olympics, I saw flashes of it again. The power play looked good, but today, a lot more passing again. And yeah, it's just disappointing. Like, he like, offensively, it's one game he's giving it. The next game, it's kind of, or it could have, because of, blocking the shot. I don't know exactly where it was. But yeah, it's a little disappointing, but I'm still on Russell's boat about, PD, being one of the better players on the ice. But it's also great. Another person that Tyler talked about with one of the goals was Olgren. This kid, I think, please someone fact check this, but in the last 4 games, he has at least 5 points, something along those lines. I will go and look that up in a minute. But it's great seeing the young kids, the sort of next generation of the Canucks. Someone like Ogen could be part of the core. I'm not saying he is the core, but he definitely would be a good complement to, the Zbuum, and you have your Willanders, DPD. Weird, sorry, they're all defensemen, but in terms of forward wise, yeah, Ogren's probably one of those players that you're gonna rely on, and in a couple of years, he's probably going to be one of those top point getters, right? Especially if you've looked at his pre-draft highlights. I watched some of it, and this guy's clutch. So hopefully, Lekermaki, has a good recovery, gets to training camp, gets to play with Ogren, and if at some point, PD is back to full PD, maybe center those two, and maybe mentor those two, because PD's at a point in his career where he's not a rookie, sophomore, or he's been in the league for so many years. It's time for him to mentor some of the younger kids, right? Especially with these Swedes coming in. Like, you speak the same language. Obviously, the chemistry will be a little better if you speak the same language. And sorry, that's like a brain dead duh. But yeah, it would be nice to see that line for the next season. And I think I remember Russell was saying on a stream that, yeah, the Canucks are going to be trying to make the playoffs next year. So we'll see what happens with all that. We'll see what happens with the draft picks. we'll see what happens, for the rest of the season, and what's coming up is the trade deadline, and what players are going to be sent out. And hopefully after the whole Jim Rutherford, saying that, they're going to get prospects and they're going to get picks. Hopefully we get some good prospects that can develop and grow with who we have now. And eventually in a couple of years, I would say, we have a team that has grown together, played together, and hopefully make the playoffs together and play for one another. Because at this point right now, the feeling is there's not a lot of chemistry. There's not a lot of team mentality. And yeah, I think I don't want to go back all the way to the past and say, it happened ever since Bo, because that is what happened. Like, I still remember back then, I think it was JT Miller calling, or someone calling the team like a country club. And, at least at that point when Bo was still around, people plays hard for each other. Like, Bo was the last one off the ice. Always, doesn't matter what game, like what the result is, he'll be there fist bumping everyone at the end of the game. You need someone that is there for the team to give encouragement, to give, kudos on, playing a good game, good effort, etc. Garland at the beginning of the season was that person. And then somehow it just, I don't know what happened. I don't see it anymore. So we need players of that leadership in order for the team to succeed ongoing, because you need a mentor. You need someone that shows the young kids what to do and how you should be playing the game. And Bo had the Sedins, and pretty much Bo took whatever the Sedins taught him and put it to the team, and Bo put the team behind his back. Right. And we're at like 20 plus minutes, and Tyler is still working on it. So I think I need to continue holding the fort down. But let's see here. Let's go through some of the comments while I am here. Oh, we're getting messages through X. Okay, and it's serving. That's great. So it's good. Thanks for testing that out, because at least we know whatever people that are watching on X right now, we have about 40 some odd people watching. Leave comments, and we'll definitely talk about it. Okay, so Russell says that Adam Foote confirmed he benched PD. And if, Russell, you're still on, can you please elaborate on that? Hey, Harry, how's it going? 5-1. I mean, it was 2-0 in the first. So it's kind of expected. If it's 2-0 in the first, if you kind of just do it mathematically, it should be 6-0, right? And they only got 5. Canucks got 1. And I think at the beginning of this, before the stream started, I hope the Canucks get at least 1, and they did. Headspace Hockey. So this is the new channel that Mr. Irvin and I are going to be starting on March 4th. And we will be doing a pre-trade deadline live show at 10 p.m. And we will be having a special guest, none other than Clay Daddy, who will be here tomorrow with Tyler at 3 p.m. And we will officially start the channel. I know a lot of people have been asking, and it's finally here. If you haven't gone to the channel yet, give us a sub. I think Tyler will add the link on in the chat. And thank you, Swervin. It is March 5th at 10 p.m., not the 4th. Thank you for reminding me. And right here, Russell says he feels a lack of chemistry is Adam Foote's fault. Yeah, I would agree, because he just consistently plays DeBrusque with PD, and it's like, why? If you know what, if the record's not broken, don't change it. But the thing is, if it sucks, change it. And finally, you put the Swedes together, and we've been harping at that for how long now? It's been what, 40 games in, and you finally try it. And welcome back, Tyler. You got the score changed.
Ta-da! Sorry that took a little longer than expected, but I was still listening. You mentioned the banner for your guys' new channel. Here you guys go. There's his little link. Headspace Hockey. Go ahead, check it out. Well, I don't want to say like, because there's no videos yet, but give it a subscribe, and yeah, go ahead, check it out. I know I definitely will be checking it out for sure after this. But yeah, I'm just glad that scoreboard is fixed. I was obviously listening to it in the background. But yeah, I'm glad you brought up Tolo. Because I'm all about YOLO Tolo now, baby. I did want to get into a bit more context with the wrist thing. I realized there were some things I didn't mention. So we'll quickly do that, and then I'll give you guys my notes on the game. So basically, originally, I thought it was a thumb issue. And I will admit, I did burn the knuckle of my thumb. Irvin, you probably know what that feels like, for almost 400-degree oil, hitting your skin. So I originally thought it was that. And then I felt a sharp pain in the knuckle itself, but it wasn't like a burning sensation. It felt like a tendon in it. So I was like, like what's going on here? Get it checked out. End up finishing my shift, which I probably shouldn't have done. But I had like an hour left. So I did that, came home, and then the following day, that same pain moved into my wrist. So that's why I'm thinking it is potentially tendonitis. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit more context with that. And I don't know if you guys can see, I got my little bracelet. But yeah, so yeah, that is the full on the whole wrist thing. I do have my brace on. So, but
sorry, Tyler, how long did you wait how long did you wait for a doctor?
Clinic?
Yeah.
I think it was probably maybe close to 20 minutes. And that was after I was already in the exam room. So I went in, checked in, they had me sit down for like not even 5 minutes. And then they did a pre-check, taking your temperature, taking your blood pressure, the normal stuff. And then I went and sat in a actual exam room for probably about 20 minutes, just sitting there.
That's actually not bad. That's really good.
Yeah, not bad. I probably would have waited even longer if I'd gone to the actual hospital. So.
Yeah, I got sick one time. I had to go to the hospital. It was like half the day.
Yeah.
There's like there's tons of people sitting in the waiting area, and you see some nurses walking around, maybe a doctor here and there, but yeah, it's hours. So I'm glad you were able to get seen so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I think it was a couple people, or one lady came in not long after me. Like I would say, there was, a guy and a little boy, they got checked in. Then it was me. And then there was one other woman who got checked in. And then another lady came in, and they were actually at capacity. So they couldn't, have her in, they couldn't see her. So they actually had to turn her away. So I got lucky for that for sure. So, but
because I don't want to get into politics or the government or whatnot, but just glad you're able to see a doctor. So
yeah. So
some of your notes.
At as I mentioned earlier, Canucks look pretty sluggish. I know you mentioned Ogren earlier. I definitely liked his goal, although when I got the notification, it said Garland. So I originally thought it was Garland's goal, and then I actually saw the replay. It was like, no, that was Ogren. Also, I wanted to point out that line was very noticeable, as was, the Swedish touch line, as I so eloquently put in the comments while you were talking.
Yeah.
And then, I know you mentioned EP40. I guess you kind of Russell himself, said Foot confirmed that he benched him, which probably does not help his, the whole trade speculation surrounding him. Benching him does not help. Although isn't that like the first time we've heard Petey getting benched?
Yeah.
Or has he been benched before?
I don't think so. I don't recall him being benched at all. Because if he gets benched, it's like a huge deal. Because it's the highest paid player on the team. So benching him or sitting him out would cause a whole ordeal. DeBrus got sat and there was media all over that shit. So
Oh yeah. So, well, on that note, I imagine that's probably going to be the talk of the town tomorrow. Although some guys like Sakaris and Price and them, they probably won't talk about it until like Monday. Same thing with like Canucks conversation and whatnot, but they're probably going to bring it up tomorrow. The fact that Petey was benched. I was listening to the broadcast, and I think it was, I want to say Harudi, even kind of said he actually wasn't playing all that bad tonight. Maybe there was, just a couple things. So yeah. And then I'm glad that you mentioned Eberle, the Canuck killer, like I mentioned earlier. Yeah. And I was listening to you talk about him, and I 100% agree. Why can't we have that guy? At least he can put the puck in the net. They talk about like moving out veterans and maybe bringing in veterans. What's his contract status? Can we, have him? Like, can we take him since he's a Canuck killer? But 3 points, 2 goals, and an assist. Potentially could have had a hat trick in this game.
You know what? Honestly, I think it was a hat trick. So don't be so sure yet. It could change by tomorrow. Because I looked at the replay, and they gave the goal to
Beniers.
Who did they give the goal to? Beniers? Yeah.
It was Beniers, yeah.
It barely touched or grazed his skate. On the stream, I think Shorty was saying, it might have just hit his skate lace. So come on, man. Seriously, I don't see that being a goal. I think Eberle has his hat trick. A lot of people threw their hats in, and Oh, speaking of which, did you know at the end of the game you can go and pick up your hat after you throw it onto the ice? Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
So
I think they were kind of joking about that on the broadcast.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know this, and a lot of people are hesitant on throwing their hats because they're like, if I throw my hat, it's gone, right? So yes, true, they collect a lot of the hats off the ice, and whoever doesn't go to the gate at the end of the game, I think it's in Vancouver, I believe it's gate 16, so the Linden entrance. So it's just like the office entrance. If you go over there, you can go pick up your hat. But how they know that hat is yours is another story. I don't know because I've never done it, but I've heard some people go in and pick up their hats. And all the hats that aren't picked up are actually donated. So, it's for a good cause.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's definitely prevented me from ever doing it. I mean, me, I have a abundance of hats, including the one I'm wearing, and I'm a bit of a hat collector. So unless I get like a really shitty ass hat, then maybe I'd throw that on the ice. Be like, no, I don't need that back. But you don't want to just throw like any type of hat onto the ice. You want it to be like something like Canucks related. You know, if a Canuck player scored a hat trick, you know, you want to make sure it's Canuck related. But
no one's gonna see it, Tyler. No one's gonna see it. No one cares. They just see a hat going onto the ice. So, like, if it was me, I'd just bring a shitty hat to the game, and if someone scores a hat trick, I'd throw it out just in case if I don't get it back. That's before I knew that you can go and pick up your hat. But at the same time, if you were gonna, I think I'm gonna test the theory at some point, and I will write down my name and my phone number in a hat, like a shitty hat, and I'll go to a game, and if there's a hat trick, I'll throw it out there and see if I can pick it back up.
Yeah, just write it like underneath like the bill or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, let me take another look back at my notes. This is more so not necessarily a note, but it's actually a question for chat. Should David Camp have gotten a penalty shot when he got hauled down on that breakaway at the end of the second period? I know they ended up calling it cross-checking. I honestly didn't really see much of a cross-check. All I saw was just him being yanked down. Let me know in chat. Do you guys think he should have gotten a penalty shot despite, you know, it being the end of the period? I still think that would have been cool. You know, the buzzer sounds and then they're like, wait, point to the center ice. I mean, I'm not saying that Camp probably would have scored on the penalty shot, but it still would have been cool to see a penalty shot. Let me know in chat if you think that should have been the case. Also, I know you mentioned it already. YOLO Tolo. Again, another question for the chat. Should Tolo get the next start? And should he be looked at more down the stretch for the very same reasons that you listed off earlier? You know, the fact that he's playing, you know, I don't want to say better per se, but he's played well. And he's let in less goals than Kevin Lankinen had. So, yeah. And I think
because Tolo honestly has been more steady. I think there's only one game that he was not, like, he's a little shaky. But aside from that, like, I mean, I still look back at that Ducks game that he played, and I was like, wow. Yeah, I don't know if you remember that game, but that was probably one of the first games I saw him play, and I was really impressed. Because he shut out the Ducks.
Yeah.
Of all teams. Like, you have a core of these young kids.
That was this season, right? Or was that last season? This season?
You mean last year or this year? It was it's this season because Tolos didn't start playing until this season, right? But it was
I think he played one game last year. Oh. Like maybe
it was in the beginning. I think it was January. So
okay. But I'd have to look back at that game. But the one that really stands out for me is the one against Toronto, even though they lost. But that 40 save performance that he had against the Leafs really stands out for me. I know the Leafs are shit right now, but still putting up 40 saves against the Leafs, I thought was pretty good, despite the Canucks actually not winning that game. And I believe that was the game that I was at Greta for. I can't remember.
Or Tolo?
Now I remember. Yeah, Tolo. Now I remember the Ducks game. Yeah, that was the game that Anaheim didn't have their top two centers in the lineup. That was McTavish and Carlson, that game? I believe.
Yeah.
Anyway. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight this for Urban. I mean, yeah, if I had a MAGA hat, yes, I would most definitely throw that on the ice. Be like, I don't need that shit back. And that's all I'll say about that.
So I actually have something for you.
Ooh.
see if this works.
There, I'm just gonna get rid of some of these things that I've already covered, like the goals and whatnot. We don't really need those still, do we?
No.
All right, so I'll make more room. While we wait for that, I'm going to highlight Connor's comment here. I watched Steve Dangle's video earlier. It made me laugh to no end. All I kept hearing was Leafs lost 5-2. The trade deadline is less than a week away, over and over again. Yeah. For those of you that took part or watched that out of the blue live stream that I did the other day, where I actually showed that, Dangle little clip of him just going off. I still think that was great. Just him absolutely going off. Like we won't get into like politics in this one, but if you guys watched the live stream the other night, you know what I'm talking about. He just went off.
When does he not get off? The guy's hilarious.
I absolutely fucking love Dangle. He is so fucking funny. And hey, he's a dream guest for sure. I know Clay's gotten him on before, so hopefully one day I'll be able to have Steve Dangle on and we can just shoot the shit. But yeah, you says here Eberle through. So he'll be a UF. So he's a. Oh, so Eberle's a.
There you go.
UFA. Patrick. Yo, pick up the freaking phone, man. Like, bring this guy in.
Yeah, but you don't know, because if Seattle extends him, then they have until the end of the season to extend him. Mm-hmm. And he's playing all right.
Yeah.
I mean, in general, it's not just against the Canucks. Like he's a decent player, and that's a very, very good cap hit at 4.75. Mm-hmm. He's definitely going to look for a bump this year. I would say it's probably going to be closer to Garland money. So if they're able to trade out Garland, you can get Eberle. But Eberle, I need to double check how old he is.
He's 35.
Yeah, so...
But he's got 41 points in 57 games. Not too shabby.
Yeah.
Although he is
so
a winger.
He's a right wing.
Yeah, right wing.
I think.
But he's a former first-round pick in 2008, though.
Of course he was. Like, he played so well for Team Canada.
Oh, yeah.
He was one of those players that year that kept scoring and scoring. He was like a Connor, man. He was like a Kyle Connors. Just all he did was score goals, man. And then when he got into the league, I was just like, huh. I was kind of disappointed because the Oilers signed or drafted him, right? And then I believe during the expansion draft, they didn't give him a spot, and then Seattle obviously jumped on and was like, we'll take him. Like, it was easy, like, dude, we'll take him.
Yeah. But hey, who knows? Maybe that, if the Kraken aren't considering re-signing him or extending him, I don't see why the Canucks shouldn't, take a gander or take a look at him. I mean, yeah, he's 35, but you still need veterans on this team. And, especially with Rutherford mentioning, in that interview, they could get veterans out and bring new ones in, But, yeah, Urban is right. Eberle will probably want to go somewhere. If he is going to leave Seattle, he's probably going to want to go somewhere where he can win a cup, for sure, especially at his age. So, but it doesn't hurt to, dream a little dream. So,
true. Yeah, I totally forgot he played for the Islanders. Yeah, so he was traded. Yeah, he was yeah, my bad on that one. Thanks for correcting me, Irvin. Glad to have you here. Let me just double check here. So yeah, the Kraken actually got Eberle from the Islanders during the expansion draft.
Well, shit, that was one
Let's
heck of
see
a pickup by
here.
the Kraken, though. Just based on
Yeah,
how he's played since he's been with the Kraken. One heck of a pickup. So
yeah. Well, who's the Kraken's captain?
it is Eberle.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's Eberle. I think originally it was crap. I forget his name. Oh, Giordano was the first Kraken captain, and then
Right,
when he
Mark
left,
Giordano.
they gave it to Eberle.
Yeah. Well, you know who else the Seattle got a great player from? It's the Canucks.
Oh, what, McCann?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if the Canucks could take another
Imagine still
crack.
having McCann. No, but the thing is, McCann was traded to the Panthers,
Mhm,
and then because the Canucks gave up on him,
mhm.
and then McCann was traded to Pittsburgh after that, after I think a couple of years, 2, 3 years, 3 years. And then yeah, we're taken to the expansion draft and picked up by Seattle.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean the Canucks gave up early. It
Yeah.
was really tough.
Yeah, I think they gave up on him way too soon, especially with seeing how good of a goal scorer he's become and his shot. Everyone talks about Leframaki's shot and him being a shooter. So is McCann. I mean, it's one of those like what ifs. Like, what if we had kept him and perhaps? I mean, I don't know. I did notice this a while back when I was getting that scoreboard fixed, but I wanted to highlight this. Yes, you're 100% right, Connor. I do need to start saving for one of those cameras myself. Because, yeah, your camera is, like, crisp.
Yeah.
So,
The
yeah,
camera
definitely
that
do
you
need
and
to start saving for one of those.
the camera that you and I were testing before the stream, that was actually I was using my phone camera, but because
No.
the Wi-Fi is a little iffy, it kept stuttering. But that camera on my phone is actually pretty clean too. So I think if I connected a cable to my phone and use that as a camera, it'd just be as good as this. So I mean, I don't regret buying this camera, but it is kind of expensive. And yeah, hopefully I'll
Anyway, I think we're
make good use of it.
thousands, I bet. I mean, but I might look into maybe not necessarily Pocket 3. Like I'm assuming there's like a Pocket 1, Pocket 2.
No, the prices have dropped because Pocket 4 is coming out, and you don't necessarily need a Pocket like an Osmo of any sort. You can use it. You can get a GoPro, and that would still work. So just the newer generation ones, or something that's new of recent would be like an Insta360. That one would be good because you can use that as a webcam, and there's an actual screen on it that you can flip up, and the actual camera you can pull it out and attach it as a magnet for like I contemplated between the Insta360 or the Pocket 3, but I was like, yeah, Pocket 3 is just it looks more fun and it has a gimbal and it has face tracking. So if I were to, let's see here. So once it'll follow me, but I need to set that up before the stream. So, but anyways, enough about that. You know what? There's a player that I think Canucks can go after during this trade deadline streak, like this what's left, like a week left, right? Or less than a week left. I think I remember seeing a post somewhere about how Edmonton's trying to get rid of cap space or to gain cap space and trade away players. Mangiapane for $3.5 million. If
Mangiapane,
the Oilers,
Alfred would like to say.
the Oilers are willing to give a third, I don't think they'll give prospects, but if they can give a third in this year's draft, the Canucks should jump on that. It's only 3.5, I think, for the rest of the year. I will double check that.
Yeah, I honestly wouldn't mind Mangiapane as like what I just said. I don't even know if Alfred's in here, but I know he would appreciate that. Mangiapane. But no, I honestly, all jokes aside, I wouldn't mind him.
Yeah, so his contract is up. Actually, my bad. So he has one more year next year. I don't mind. Seriously, I don't mind an extra 3.6 on the books next year because it's going up to 104 anyways. And you get a good pick in the draft this year, which is deep. So why not, right? And people would be like, "Oh, you're helping the Oilers." I don't care, man. You're helping yourselves first. You're helping the Canucks. You get a pick, you get a player who can still kind of score. Hopefully, mentor some of the kids. I think it's worth it, man. I mean, the guy is 29. He's not like super old. He can still play. Plays left and right. Go for it. And then it'd be hilarious because he would have played for the Flames, the Oilers, and then the Canucks. All West Coast Canadian teams.
Yeah, definitely. I don't mind that at all. I would be okay. I think I even may have actually even mentioned it in a video not that long ago. He could have been like a potential target. But, I wouldn't mind that whatsoever. I'd be fully okay with that. I hate to go back again, especially while I was dealing with the scoreboard thing. Like I said, I was still listening, and I'm noticed you mentioned I don't know if he's still in here, but Russell.
Yeah,
I did actually end up rewatching that Canucks Uncensored thing where it was you and Russell.
okay.
Which but I thought it was great that you two hashed it out on that whole topic. Like, not to bring that up again, but I'm really glad you guys hashed that out, because I will admit I was a little bit bothered by that, just personally. But I'm glad you guys hashed it out and whatnot. I loved the ending of that too. With Witt going like, we're doing like, what was it? 2 matches in one night or whatever it was. I thought that was great. But no, I just wanted to say I'm glad you guys were able to hash that out. That was really good.
No, I mean, I didn't want to bring it up again because obviously it was on a channel that I haven't watched in a while, and I'm not gonna say my reasoning on why, but I do appreciate Witt giving Russ and myself a chance to hash it, because I obviously was misinformed and thought, the timeline was all messed up. Like, I thought the timeline was different, but even if the timeline was different, it was still a tad on the insensitive side. So I wanted to apologize on the stream on that night. If people were actually watching, then they can see the whole transition of things. Like, I did something someone called me out, I got a chance to hash it and apologize, because that's definitely not something that I meant to do. And I feel like, if you do something wrong and you get called out, then be a man and just stand up and take it. Like, if you did something wrong, you apologize. If you, like, you can't be like, oh, someone calls you out and you just ignore it, because that just shows how ignorant you are yourself, right? But if you listen to someone else's comments, or you listen to their, suggestions or their opinions, and you can somehow not compromise, or try to understand what the point of view that they are trying to come at, and then you go, okay, hey, you're right, I was wrong, admit it, apologize, and that's the end of the day, and just, excuse me, and that's it, right? So, excuse me, but yeah, I appreciate that, but thank you, Tyler, for bringing that up, especially because we're trying to open up a new channel, and I'm trying to open up a new channel, and I need to be credible, I need to be responsible and accountable, right? So if I didn't get that chance at the end of the stream, then people that watch that will always say, oh, Gerald's kind of an asshole, and I'm not, right? People that know me from the community, people that actually know me, know what kind of person I am, and I painted myself very incorrectly on that stream. So, yeah. I mean, if you agree, thank you. If you don't agree, that's fine also.
No, totally. I totally agree. I haven't had a chance to I kind of kept it in how I felt about it, which I should have come to you about it, but I'm glad you guys were able to do that. And yeah, and I only say that because, how it, like, obviously I've never lost a child before, but it kind of made me think of my mom in a way. So that's why I kind of felt on a personal note. But like I said, I'm glad you two were able to hash it out and you guys had that conversation. But I just wanted to let you know that I did go back and watch that.
Thank you.
Like to the end, and I just wanted to mention that because we haven't had a chance to talk since then. So, or I guess this was after our last post game is when I actually went and watched it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. So, but it looks like speaking of the big brains in here. Rain, how's it going, buddy? And don't worry, we will do that Miller thing within the next couple of weeks. You heard it here. So feel free to
Rain.
call me out if I don't.
Hey, Rain. It's okay. You know that the channel's up. Tyler put up the link already. Just make sure you give us a follow. And if Tyler doesn't have the time, you know where to go. Headspace Hockey is ready for you, my friend.
There you go, Rain. If you didn't see it. And for those that may not have seen it as well, there you go. But no, don't worry. We'll do it within the next couple weeks for sure. Absolutely 100%. I think I'm finally ready. So yeah, we'll definitely try and do that in the next couple weeks for sure. But let's see if there's anything else. No, I covered all my notes. But why don't we talk a little bit about, the whole trade stuff, whatnot going on, with, I know there hasn't been much updates when it comes to Myers. He's still, thinking about it. I think they said they've given him till Monday. They think he'll have a decision. But, obviously, there's been speculation about PD too. Obviously, that benching tonight is probably not going to help that. There's been talk about Besser, DeBrusque. Is that? Yeah, I think that is it. Is there? I mean, I haven't looked.
No, because Myers
at all today.
Myers, from what I've seen recently, there is a chance Dallas could be in play. Because from what I heard is Dallas could be in play if Dallas wants him. It would be a playoff team. It would be one of those contenders in the West. And Tyler Myers, his mom is Tyler Myers was born in Texas. So
Yeah.
his mom is in Texas. So that would make things easier, especially with this kid and the issues that they're having. Having grandma there would be great too. So I could potentially see the Stars going after Myers, and that'd be great. With what Dallas has, Myers would be playing probably third pairing lines, and that's the perfect amount of time to give Myers, because anything more than that, then the chaos giraffe comes out. But aside from that, it would be a good fit, and I hope it works out, because not just for his playoff and cup aspirations, but also to be with family again and be so close with his mom. I think it would be a great trade. Yeah. And for a second, come on, man. Like, for a second, go for it.
Yeah, I was literally about to say, hey, if Dallas offers a second, fucking take it. Tell Myers, hey, they're offering a second. Would you be?
Yeah.
Let's freaking do it. Yeah, no, totally. I hope he goes to Dallas. I mean, nothing against Detroit or anything like that, but I hope he does go to, and obviously Urban reminding us Houston is where he's from. He's from planet Houston, as I said in Superman 2. Yes, that's a movie reference. I know. I'm a movie freak, so. But if Dallas comes up with an offer for us and is willing to offer a second round pick, I can't remember. I wish I had this with me. Let me quickly look at it. I'm not sure. Does Dallas even have their second round pick?
I can find out if you want.
I mean, I'm just quickly pulling up Puckpedia on my phone real quick. Yes, they do have their second round pick for this year and next year as well. But I think the Canucks would probably more so want a 26 second round pick. So yeah, if Dallas is willing to offer a second round pick, fucking do it. I say pull the damn trigger on that. Like,
how about let's make it interesting and package it.
Yeah, you could do that.
Because they were interested in Kane too.
Mm-hmm. And funny enough,
and
I think you mentioned it on the last post game. Canucks face the Stars in a couple days, so
yeah.
But it's in Vancouver though. In Vancouver.
Yeah. That would be interesting though. No, they play Chicago and then the Stars after the deadline, I believe. Let me just double check this.
Oh,
it's odd.
Yeah, you're right. It's showing.
I typically remember these things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. I was just looking at the. I think with it saying next up, Canucks and Stars. I think that's Dallas's next game.
Oh.
So.
No, so yeah, Dallas on Monday, Hurricanes on Wednesday, and then the Blackhawks right after the deadline. But let's make this interesting. Let me throw this out there. What about you package Kane and Myers to Dallas, and then you go for I don't even know what. Not 2 seconds. How about we just go for a first for these two players? Yo, they're getting Myers with an extra year on top of that, and then they get Kane for the playoffs. For a first, one asset for two. Come on, man. If they win the cup, it means nothing. It's like a second round pick.
Yeah, if Dallas offered that, I would take that and run with it for sure. But then Rain poses a good question. Does Dallas have the cap space for both of them? I don't think they do.
So right now, Dallas's cap is at. Yeah, they wouldn't. Their cap space right now is 1.398, so about 1.4 million for the deadline, which is like nothing. So if they move out, yeah, you know what? I don't know if they do. Like I've heard speculations about Maverick Bork being potentially moved.
I wouldn't mind
But
him
if
in
I was
a
Dallas, I would not move him.
no.
Dude, I would take him in a heartbeat, seriously. He's 24 years old. He's a right shot centerman. He still has he's an RFA next year. And this is the issue that's what Dallas is. You know what? Could they end up losing him to RFA anyways? Like if the contracts don't bode well and it goes to arbitration and then he stays for a year, then they'll have to trade him anyways. And but the only issue with the cap space is he's only at 9.95, so $9,500 dollars for the cap space. Dallas would have to move out a lot, and I don't know who they can because Rantanen is injured right now. He's at 12 million, and then you have Tyler Seguin, who's also injured at 9.85, and then Rupe Hintz at 8.45, who's playing. Then you got Wyatt Johnson at 8.4, Jason Robertson at 7.75, and then he's an RFA next season. And Duchesne 4.5. Surprised he went to Dallas. He signed a 4 by 4.45. And he left Nashville for that. So, yeah, it would have to be tricky in terms of cap space and how they maneuver around that and what the Canucks can take off their books.
Yeah, definitely. But hey, if they were really serious about moving, Bork, I wanted to package that. Again, I wouldn't say no. But like you said, I don't think Dallas is going to be.
It's very unlikely.
Yeah. I mean, if I were Dallas,
I would. Yeah, I don't think anyone would, because right now, are they even in LTIR?
I do.
Yeah, Tyler Seguin's in LTIR.
Yeah.
So even with Seguin on LTIR, they only have 1.4 million to work with. But projected playoff cap space is 31 million.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it could potentially work, but I don't know. Would they be willing to put someone else on LTIR for the short? And being on LTIR, that means you're minimum out for like 10 days. Right? Is that true? I can't remember. Maybe double check that.
And Rain's got a good point with this. So even with Myers, even just doing like just Myers, not including Kane, either Vancouver has to retain or Vancouver has to take a contract as part of the return. So it's probably not going to be, if it's Dallas, it's probably not going to be a Myers for a pick. Dallas is going to have to send something back, as like a cap dump. Just to take on Myers himself. So.
Because Myers is at 3 million, right?
Yeah, 3 million. So they're about 2 million short or so, and some change. So yeah, they would probably.
So they would have to retain.
So
yeah, it's 3 million.
50, it would be like what, about $1 million or something.
They're still. Hey, yo, that what works is if they retain half and send over Bork, I'd take that.
Oh, yeah.
I'd take that right away. Right away.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine having Maverick Bork. That would be crazy.
And yeah, I do think when Kane gets traded, the Canucks are going to not 100%, but I know the Canucks are going to retain 50% on Kane. They've already made that known. They're willing to retain 50. I don't know if they're going to retain 100 on that. Or
no, when? Because Rutherford said he would prefer not to retain.
Yeah. I did want to bring this up too. You want to get nuts? Yes, that's another movie reference. Actually, here's a quiz. tell me in chat, what is that reference from? What would you take for a sweetener to retain on PD? You know what? Screw it. Let's dive into that, because I was watching Sekeres and Price earlier, actually on my way to the clinic. They had Jeff Merrick on, and they were talking about Pettersson. When don't Sekeres and Price talk about Pettersson? But they mentioned, and actually I believe it was Merrick mentioned Pittsburgh when it comes to a trade for PD, because Alvin and Rutherford like to do trades with Pittsburgh. That's how we got Marcus Pettersson and Drew O'Connor. They've made a few trades with Pittsburgh, and he floated the idea. I think I'm actually probably going to do a video on this, just because I think it's an intriguing topic about him possibly going to Pittsburgh, since obviously Crosby's at probably the tail end of his career, so is Malkin, and they're gonna need somebody. I know. But I thought it was intriguing. We keep hearing about LA, Carolina, Detroit. It's a different team, so it's nice. It's kind of like a bit of fresh air, kind of hearing another team could be in on him. I don't know if they actually are interested, but it was intriguing to hear as an option for sure.
There was a message I wanted to highlight. Wasn't there someone that just said PD's not getting traded until the end of the season?
Yeah, that was Irvin. Where did I see that?
Yeah. Right here.
Yeah. And yeah, that is a very good point too. Yeah,
unless LA steps up.
Yeah, unless they're like blown away by an offer before the deadline, then yeah, that's the only way I think it happens.
Because look at LA right now. They're down Fiala, and I don't even know how long Fiala's out for. And then you have Kopitar.
The season.
Oh damn. Okay.
That's
that sucks.
They're big. That's why they're pretty desperate.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's absolutely terrible. That happened to him in the Olympics. But yeah, no, that he's out for the season. I know they got Panarin. Prior to that, and I think that's honestly a saving grace for them. Getting Panarin before Fiala went down. But I do remember they mentioned, and it was on again, Sekeres and Price. They mentioned that they were having goal scoring issues prior to Fiala going out. Now it's even worse because Fiala's out.
No, but LA makes a lot of sense for PD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have Kempe, you have Kuzmenko.
Who's out now?
LA's like on the West Coast, and for him to fly back to Sweden, it's like similar to this like Vancouver. And his wife's an influencer, so why not do it in LA, right? So I think it works out for all parties.
Mm-hmm. And she's lived in LA before, so she's familiar with the area too. And I think I saw somewhere, PD apparently said he likes LA. It's a place he's wanted to play. Like, I'm not sure if it actually came from PD himself or what, but that I heard that as well. So, but
I mean, I could definitely see him in a Kings jersey.
Oh yeah. My only thing is, what would the return be? That's just it. They're not giving away Byfield for him.
I mean, LA fleeced New York on the bread man.
Yeah.
So if PD somehow says like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to LA and only LA, if not, then I'm staying here. But the Canucks would be like, fine, then you're staying here. They can't really do the whole like New York thing, right? So
no, they can't.
So the deal has to make sense for both parties for this one. Yeah, man, I wish they traded him before the contract. I mean, even to Carolina, just to take who was it? It was Nacious
Nature's
and Aho
Kotkaniemi.
or
No, it
Kokanemi.
was
Yeah, I would have taken
Oh,
that.
I wish it was all.
Yeah, Kokanemi. Wasn't it Kokanemi at first and Nacious?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was that.
Dude, that was the stupidest trade that they didn't do. Like, how do you not? Oh my god. Whatever.
I
It
I,
is
I
what it
think they may
is.
have wanted like an extra pick or something. I can't remember exactly, but I think that was on the table. Like that was like the offer from Carolina, but I think the Canucks wanted like more or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I like this.
Mm-hmm. Schmitty.
Reportedly, Nate Schmidt didn't want to get traded to Winnipeg. And yeah, that is awesome. So yeah, pull that with Petey. I honestly think I was talking to Swervin the other day, and we were talking about just topics and whatnot. And he asked me a question. Do you believe, like, when will you believe this is a rebuild? Like, Tyler, let me ask you that question.
Oh,
When will you believe that Alvin and Rutherford is on full rebuild mode?
once Petey's gone, that's because he's the last piece. We Jimmy even said on that 100% hockey podcast, they wouldn't have gone or decided to do a rebuild if they still had Miller and Quinn. It wasn't an option. If they still had those two guys, they're not going to do it. Well, you trade those two away, you still have that one last piece, and that's Petey. So you trade him, then yeah, it's most certainly a full-on rebuild once you trade Petey away. Because he's like kind
Yeah.
of like the last piece of that core left. Unless you count like Demko too.
Yeah, Demko's not moving, man. He's stuck here. There's like,
No,
yeah, I really don't know if anyone would be dumb enough to trade for Demko. Like, even if he's healthy at the beginning of next season, if you were a team trying to do well, I don't know, maybe Edmonton would take him. Who knows? I mean, Edmonton takes whatever goalies. They've just had shit luck with goalies anyways, right?
Oh yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
remember how we used to be a goalie graveyard? I think you
Yeah.
can say Edmonton's a bit of a goalie graveyard. So
Yeah, Vancouver, all they do is, get these goalies ready and then they trade them away and then they flourish.
yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah,
much
pretty
it.
much.
Dude, Seelovs is doing pretty well,
Unless-
man.
Unless your name's Roberto Luongo, but that is like the one like exception.
Yeah.
But hey, I guess you can say he kind of did flourish too, because he's
Yep.
won 2 cups since he left Vancouver. So,
Not as a player.
well, yeah, obviously not as a player, but just in general, he's now got 2 Stanley Cups since he left Vancouver. That was more so meant to be like,
Yeah, and one of those
Joe.
and one of those seasons is that it was paid by Vancouver too.
Yeah.
I mean, the cap recapture fee, whatever, that goes to no, because when he retired, the Canucks had to pay him, and also had the recapture fee on the books, right? So
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because he pre-retired, like he still had like I can't remember exactly how many years off the top of my head, but I know he still had quite a few years left on his deal when he retired.
it was like 6 years
Yeah, something like that.
at 2.1.
Mhm.
Because at that point, you were able to. God, who was it? Was it Nonis? Or I can't remember who it was that gave Luongo a 12-year deal. It was 12 years, man.
It was Nonus, I think. Or was it?
Like you would,
Yeah, I think it was Nonus.
like you would expect someone that signs a 12-year deal to, like, he's a lifer.
It was Gillis. I thought about Gillis. I was like, was it Nonus or Gillis? But it was Mike Gillis. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, so it was 12 years for pretty much 64,000 million. And that came out to be about 5.3 annually. But it was front loaded. So when he retired in 2019, there was a cap recapturing penalties for Vancouver, which was 3.03 million annually until 2022, and Florida. But Florida had to eat it, so Vancouver's part came in at 2.1, is what I remember I remember that, yeah.
Mm.
So.
Yeah, wrong one.
Oh, wow, we got some people back in now.
I wanted to highlight this one. But yeah, no, this is where I got it crossed. Nonus traded for Luongo in 2006 and gave him his first initial
For Bertuzzi.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember that. That was at the draft, wasn't it? It was at the draft or the trade deadline. I can't remember. I think it was at the draft for Bertuzzi, and I was just like, holy crap. They got Luongo. We're going all in, boys.
Yeah, and that was I think I read into that recently, like just on like Wikipedia or whatever. I think I just had Luongo's page up and was like reading it just because no like particular reason. I just was like reading up on the history. Apparently they were trying to extend Luongo at the time, and apparently Luongo was actually surprised by the trade. And then shortly afterwards signs that 4-year deal, like not long after the trade. Still my favorite Canuck to this day, though. Oh, Birdo.
Luongo.
Although Liam Ogren is making his way up there. I don't know if Connor's still in the chat or not. I still want a freaking Ogren jersey, number 92. Wanted to bring this.
Okay, let me ask you: Would you rather have a Ogren jersey or a Tolopilo jersey?
Ooh, okay, that is a tough one. I do like me some YOLO Tolo, or heck, not even just a Tolo jersey, just get YOLO Tolo on the back with Tolo's number. I still got to go with Ogren. I think I still got to go with Ogren.
Yeah, because remember that video that you did on Tolo? He probably might not be a Canuck by next season.
Yeah, exactly. And at least with Ogren, we know he ain't going anywhere. So.
No, wait. Isn't he an RFA?
Tolo?
No, Ogren.
Ogren.
Oh, end of 26-27, so I think we're good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We are good.
All right. Harry does ask, I wanted to highlight this. Would you do Garland for Kent Johnson? I know a while back I was very,
I don't think
Columbus is going to do it, but I know way back I was very.
They definitely will not.
I was very hesitant on trading Garland. I've eased up a lot on trading Garland, but it's like what we just said. I don't think Columbus is doing that. I mean, if Columbus offered this, yeah, absolutely. But no, I don't think they're doing it. I don't think Columbus is offering that. At least not just for Garland.
Yeah, you would have to give up
Remember what the
Garland
big
and something else.
yeah. Remember what the big brain said. Garland's a third liner, guys. He's not gonna get a first. And Kent Johnson, I mean, I don't have it right in front of me, so correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I'm pretty sure Kent Johnson wasn't he a first round pick? Or
He was.
He was at least a high draft pick. So yeah, we
he
ain't getting
was
Kent Johnson.
he was the 5th pick in 2021.
Yeah. So he's definitely not doing. I mean, maybe if you like had a attached Garland as part of a package, maybe, but still, it's probably going to take a lot for Columbus to bite on that, for sure.
Yeah, there's no way in hell Columbus would do it. So,
where I'm glad.
and there he has it, 5th.
Yeah, I think you and I both clicked on a comment at the same time. There we go.
Okay, Irvin. God.
I'm glad Irvin brought this up. Did someone already? I'm assuming Rain answered this like right underneath, but is he still being paid? DiPietro, is he still getting paid? Like, is that?
I don't think so.
Because Rain says not until 2029, 2030.
Oh no, dude!
it?
It's actually 20. No, it's okay. He receives 1.5 million annually from the team until the end of 28-29 season.
Okay. But still, the fact he hasn't played in how long and they're still paying him?
Yeah, because he's paid 1.5 million per year over 16 years. So that's insane, man. Since 2013.
Wow. It's over what? Holy crap. I completely forgot about DiPietro, man.
Just to get, he had 8 years on his contract, and because of buying it out, it doubles it up to 16 years, and then they're paying him 1.5 per year. That is intense, man.
I mean, when I think of DiPietro, I don't think about Rick. I think about Mikey. Who didn't he also go to the Islanders? I can't remember where Mikey went.
I thought it was Boston.
Oh yeah, right. He went to Boston. I'm getting my DiPietros mixed up. Yeah, apparently Rick DiPietro's final game was like 2013. So he has
that's crazy, man.
Well over a decade. Like 12 years or so. He's still being paid. Like, wow, that is nuts. I did want to highlight this. Another question from Harry. When do you think a trade will happen for the Canucks? We kind of talked a little bit about it earlier. You know, we're going back to the Myers whole thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened on Monday. Considering the Canucks are playing the Stars that night too, I would not be surprised if it happened on Monday. And if he went to the
Stars though?
Myers
to the Stars on Monday, and then he'll dress for the Stars at Rogers.
I would not be surprised.
No, but how the hell are they gonna They're gonna need. Okay, they're gonna need to trade a player out, or they're gonna have to have another team broker it. They'll have to trade.
I thought they weren't allowed to do that anymore.
Oh wait, they can't actually.
Yeah.
No. That's only if for retaining salary.
Oh, okay.
But to get caps, actually, you know what? You're right. So they have to trade with Vancouver, and they'll have to give up some sort of player with a higher cap hit for Myers, and so it would be probably a second and something else for Myers, or they might drop it down to a third and a better player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled that trade like early Monday, and then Myers ends up suiting up for Dallas, and then the player coming over from Dallas suits up for the Canucks. I mean, it's happened in baseball. Actually, it happened this past season for the Blue Jays. That happened. Or what was it this season? I can't remember. I know it happened recently for the Blue Jays. So I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. Not saying that it will, but it wouldn't surprise me if it did. But quickly jumping back to our DiPietro thing, because Urban mentions the Islanders drafted DiPietro number 1, just despite Roberto Luongo, who had been the highest drafted goalie of all time at number 4 in '97. That is actually one thing that I read when I was reading Lou's wiki page. And yeah, I think some people forget he was drafted by the Islanders. And then shortly after DiPietro was drafted, Luongo left the Islanders and went to Florida. He was traded to Florida.
So I'm trying to find out players that were traded mid-game or something. Because it happens a lot with baseball, but for hockey, I'm trying to figure out if there's any players that were traded and then they played the next game. But there's players that were traded mid-game, was Dominic Moore. And then he played the very next night. He got traded to the very team they were about to play that night, the San Jose Sharks. So Dominic Moore from Tampa to San Jose.
Urban does mention rumors that the offer from Detroit is the one that the Canucks really want. I'm not surprised there at all, because it is a second-round pick. But you can see why Myers doesn't want to go. They're not necessarily they're in a playoff spot, but they're not like a cup contender. And obviously, Detroit's not close to family. So I can see why he's not interested for sure. And just so it's out there, I don't blame him whatsoever for not being interested. He needs to do what's best for his family. And I have I don't think I've heard that he's completely turned it down. He's like rejected it or said no. But if he does, I wouldn't blame him at all. He deserves to go where he wants to go. And that's the whole thing with the no move clause. He freaking earned it. So he can decide where he goes. I won't have any ill will feelings if he says no to this offer and we get something less instead of a second round pick. I won't have be like, oh, screw you, Myers. I won't be like that at all. No, I wouldn't even consider it, because honestly, the guy deserves to go where he wants to go. He needs to make a decision based on his family, and it's not just a hockey decision. It's a family thing as well.
No, I 100% agree. Like, that's why I like the Dallas trade so much. If he was able to go to Dallas, and he's a lot closer to his mom, I think that would be great. And Harry, the Canes don't even want Kane.
No, I was about to say, where did the Canes come from? I don't recall them having interest in Kane at all. I don't know if that was a play on words or what, but no, I'm not saying Myers is going to get moved Monday and then Kane will get moved a couple days later and then suit up. No. I honestly don't know when. Speaking of Kane, I don't think he's going to get moved until like deadline day. That is when I think Kane gets moved. Is like right down to the wire is when he'll be moved.
Yeah, I feel the same way, but you never know. Like, you never know with this management group.
Mhm.
Like I expected a trade to be done yesterday.
Yeah.
Like a trade would have been done because they like pulling their moves on Friday,
Yeah.
and it didn't happen. Like, come on, man, got to do something.
Yeah, and Urban hits the nail right on the head. Unfortunately, there are better pieces on the market than Kane. Kane is like option B, C, or D, or like C, D, E, F, if you want. No, that is him. There's better options than him. And hey, Big Brain and I are on the same wavelength here. And C or D, it'll be a last minute, and it'll be once all the,
The
guys
big fish are gone.
The big fish are gone. He'll be like the little minnow that's swimming around left.
I'd be so disappointed in management if they weren't even able to trade Kane. And you know what? By the end, like that trade deadline, 11th hour ticking down to noon. They'll end up trading Kane for like future considerations, or like a 6th round pick, because they'd be like, we ran out of time, so that's all we could get.
Oh man, the old freaking Toffoli thing. Fuck, that still drives me nuts. That whole we ran out of time. But hey, if they don't end up trading Kane or being able to trade Kane, and I know I floated this idea already. Terminate his contract. If you really don't want him, be like, bye.
Dude, okay, you know what? There's no way that is happening. Trust me, there's no way. Like, that happening, the percentage of that happening is so unlikely. They would rather trade Kane to a team for future considerations than actually like terminating his contract. There are teams, there is interest out there. It's just not the picks or not the prospects or the players that they want. So that's why it's been on hold. There is interest for Kane, but their asking price is, I guess, a little higher than what other teams are expecting. So that's why nothing has been done. But yeah, it will be done. But the haul, just don't expect it to be a big haul for Kane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. Urban, doesn't Stamkos not want to go anywhere? But hey, yeah, 1 goal in his first 14 games, 29 in his last 45. Yeah, Stamkos is on a freaking eater. Remember when we were talking about Stamkos to the Canucks a while back?
Yeah.
Looking pretty good now. Even though I know a bunch of people were like, oh, hell no.
It's too late now. Like, it would have been great. Like, I was high on Stamkos too. Remember that show that we did? And I was just like, yeah, why not Stamkos? Just take him. Like, but yeah, I think any playoff team right now could potentially go for Stamkos. Like, he has that playoff, like, history. Like, he has a pedigree for it. And he's a performer in the playoffs. It's just unfortunate he's on the Preds and they haven't made well, they just haven't done much in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Crap. Where was it? Well, here,
the bottom one?
I was going to say something, but it slipped. No, it slipped my mind real quick. But I want to quickly answer this. Yeah, I do think there will be trades during the draft. 100%. How many? I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were trades during on draft day.
Who would it be?
I don't know.
Besser? Tolopilo?
Maybe. I freaking hope not. I mean, if they traded, I mean, I know he's got like a no move and whatnot, but hey, if they traded Langdon on draft day, I wouldn't be mad.
Dude, Lankkinen's not going anywhere, man. He's playing like shit right now. He's just like, I'm good. I'm good where I am. Just pay me, and that's it. and I'll play games, and don't worry about like you guys are asking for losses anyway, so
Mm. And yes, you can say Lankinen's my whipping boy. Remember how Doc was your whipping boy earlier on in the season?
Yeah.
Lankinen's my whipping boy now.
Yeah. You know what? You know what I realized after this game is I'm gonna make sure the next Canucks game I'm gonna bet a correct score, or I'm gonna bet like a handicap of at least 5 goals. Like the Canucks are gonna let in 5. So a correct score, I probably bet like a 5-1, 5-2, 5-3, and it'll hit because that's what the score is gonna be if Lankinen's playing.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I just once again realized I haven't done my sponsor read yet, and I did it super late last time. But they want me to do like a not necessarily a bet, but like look at the NHL odds. Obviously, all the games are over. Well, it's after midnight, but let's look at. I know I did that in my last couple pre-recorded videos. I did like kind of like the betting odds for DraftKings. Let me pull that up real quick, and let's quickly do that.
Is there even do you have a? Okay, wait. You know what? I'll do one for you. I'll do one for you, and then you do your sponsor read.
All right, I'm just pulling up just so I can take a look at the odds. On that note, I think I took the under for the Canucks in one of my other videos, by the way.
The under for the Canucks?
I don't know. I just said under, I think.
No, let me ask you a question. How do you actually access DraftKings? How do you access DraftKings if you're not in Ontario? Can you even see the odds?
Open up the I just Google it, DraftKings NHL odds, and it comes up. You don't even need a account to just like look at it. Here, I can.
Okay, I see it. So the next game would be today. Okay. This will actually take some time, though. Are you just giving out random picks?
Well, yeah, it doesn't have to be a specific team. It can be any team.
Okay, given the like for me, given the scores today, I would do the odds are actually not bad. I do Minnesota -1.5. So Minnesota under 1.5 at +102 against the Blues. I think that would be fine. And then if you want to parlay it, I would. This one's tough. Then I parlay it with the Islanders +1.5. Islanders against the Panthers.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. Let's go with that. I'm obviously not too familiar with gambling, so this is still kind of new to me. But yeah, I'll go with that. All right.
Okay, do your sponsor read. I'm gonna be right back.
All right, sounds good. I'll do that. And I forgot to. There we go. Forgot to fix the scoreboard on that. So I'm going to do my sponsor read, and I want to start by thanking Gassy Jack Art, maker of that artwork you see behind me. and you guys can check them out yourselves at GassyJackArt.com. Also, my primary sponsor, none other than DraftKings Sportsbook, which is an official sports betting partner of the NHL.
Nobody does selling better than Shopify. Shopify is the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret, with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts go abandoned and way more sales going through. So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout that Skims uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period for 3 months at shopify.com/Westwood1, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Westwood1 to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is built for the fastest game on ice. With player props and live betting, every shift, every shot, every save gives you options to get in on the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN, that's code THPN, to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass through may apply in Illinois, 21 plus in most states, void in Ontario, restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which will expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. This is a limited time offer. Copyright 2026 NHL, all rights reserved. Sorry, I had to quickly run to the washroom. So, place to bet on who wins the draft rally? I don't know. I hope so. Maybe I'll go check that out. Our bets on the next coach to get fired. That's a good one. Irish King 97. I don't think I've seen you before. Good to thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. What's the play for tomorrow? Would you mean like is that for the NHL odds, or when it comes to content? Let me know and I can answer that for you.
Sorry, I'm just.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Sorry, I'm just pouring tea. I'm pouring tea, so I'll mute that. Just give me a sec.
It's all good. All good.
Okay, that's done.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
Oh, Urban. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, it's
So just so you know, okay, by the way, wait a sec. This says goose and juice. I actually drink tea out of it, so it's not alcohol.
Mm. But yeah, it sounded like I said, it sounded like something else. But hey, at least it wasn't like, remember when Jordan was on stream and you could hear him freaking pissing? Not to
Yeah,
throw that
because the mic was hot.
Yeah, like literally. Just kidding. Jordan, love you, buddy. But I'm sorry, but that was like a freaking I don't know. Do you want to call that a Kodak moment? That was priceless. That was absolutely hilarious that happened on stream. Sorry, Jordy. Love you, bud. Big brain. Ready? I did. Oh, looks like you got a subscriber there, G, for crud, I forgot your guys' new channel name again.
Headspace Hockey.
Headspace Hockey.
Headspace Hockey.
So there you go. Reigns, subscribed, and yeah, definitely hold me to my 2-week timeline for our Miller debate. Absolutely. Although I don't think it would be so much as a debate, I'll just listen. I will admit with the whole like not to really get into it, but the whole like Olympic political thing. Not that Miller did anything, like, you know, a certain somebody else did, you know, talking wise. I'm not like Mr. Defend Miller, whatever. I mean, I still like him, obviously. I mean, you can't see the jersey with this view, but I still like him, you know, there. But don't worry, I'm not like I'm not part of the Miller police. There, we'll call it that. I'm not part of the Miller police. But no, I'm definitely hold me to that 2-week thing for sure. We will definitely get it.
So what's
says, hey, I want content and I want views, and I think that would be a good topic for sure. Especially with all of Rain's notes that I saw he had from the other day.
Hey, so what's your views on Miller crowd surfing in Florida?
I thought it was hilarious seeing him do that, and then him, you know, singing and whatnot. I haven't seen the actual clip of him singing, but I did see the pictures of him like crowd surfing, and I think you said this on the previous post game. You know, didn't you have like someone who like partied with him, something, and he like really, you know, gets into it. Hey.
Dude, he parties hard, man.
If I could party with JT, I'd party with JT. Sure. Even though I don't really drink, but hey, if I got invited, yeah, sure, I'll party with him.
Oh, wow. Look at this.
Oh.
Wow. What a burn, man.
Ooh.
Coming in hot there, Irvin.
Yeah. Miller could probably feel that all the way from fucking New York, man. Woo! Ooh. That is a good one. See? I'm not part of the Miller police. I'm like, damn. That is a right. Damn it, I thought I was the shady. Maybe I should have this debate with freaking Irvin as well.
The joke was right there. Quick on his feet, man.
Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah. Whew. Is there anything else? We're just under 2 hours. I know we've kind of set a hour 30 minutes thing, but I kind of figured we'd extend it a little bit because of, you know, me having to fix the scoreboard and whatnot. But I'm fully okay.
And we've like really drifted.
Yeah, I'm fully okay with us capping it at 2 hours. Unless there's something else that you want to go over. Not necessarily
I'm good.
game, but just Canucks related.
I'm good. Actually, whoever's in chat, especially the ones that are, oh my god, we have like over 100 on X. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, people on X, you guys ought to leave some comments for us to like talk about. I mean, if you're there watching, you might as well, right?
There have been a few comments from X.
It was Swerve and Irvin. It was Swerve and Irvin, and then there's one other one.
I think it was Tolo. I think it was Jay. By
Yeah,
the
it was
way,
Jay.
Jay, good to see you, buddy. Oh, I'll bring this one up. Because I totally forgot about this one. All I will say with tonight's, I mean, I haven't watched it yet, but with Quinn and Jack, please stick to your day jobs for the love of God. Okay, now I'm really gonna have to maybe see clips or something on YouTube or whatever. Because going by this, it doesn't look like it was very good having Quinn and Jack on SNL tonight.
I didn't even realize it was this Saturday. I thought it was next Saturday.
Yeah, I kind of thought that too, because they announced it only like a couple days ago, and usually they like to announce stuff and like wait, just to get like the hype up for it. So I didn't think it would be this soon, but
Yeah, so apparently he had to fly out to New York because he did the Late Show too. He did the Late Show, flew back, and then he had to fly out to New York again for Saturday night, and then he flies back to Minnesota before the game against the Blues tomorrow, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, the taping's in the afternoon, so it's not a huge deal.
But yeah, I guess on the whole Quinn Hughes note, as I like stare at his jersey right now, I'll admit I've kind of, and then, this is just me being, not that we're gonna really dive into this because we got about less than 5 minutes, but I will admit I have soured on him a little bit since the whole Olympic thing, and again, not to really get into it, but since that whole Olympics political stuff, I have kind of soured on him a little bit. I will admit.
Sorry, soured on who?
Quinn.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like it's unfortunate. And
Yeah.
you see these pictures online and then him like being all drunk at the press conference and asking for more beer. And like
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I don't know what's going
I
on.
thought that was pretty funny. I will admit, I thought that was pretty funny. Him pointing to the Corona being like, I did think that was very pretty funny, just because it's very uncharacteristic of him. But I also don't blame him. You guys just won a gold medal, yay, congratulations! But he was enjoying himself, which is obviously something nice to see.
Yeah. Anyways, I mean we talked about the Olympics. We talked about it last show. I don't think we need to really talk about it.
Yeah.
I think it's just I think we're all done with Quinn now. And he doesn't have that baggage. Yeah. He doesn't have that
so people know
on his back anymore, so he can do whatever the hell. He doesn't even have a C on his chest, so
yeah.
Good on him. Just be himself.
But yeah, it's like what Urban says. Thank goodness all this happened after he left the Canucks.
Yeah. And then rain.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that
would have been hilarious.
Oh no. Yeah. Man, Vancouver media would have had a freaking field day with that. Absolutely. And Bobby, no, we're not going to be doing an open mic as we're going to be signing off in a few minutes. So, but yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I guess we'll end it there. I think with my outro, we should be able to get to 2 hours. So yeah. Any parting or last words, G, before we sign off and say goodbye to all these beautiful people?
So we'll probably be doing a post game on Monday after the Stars game. Hopefully there's something we can talk about, maybe a trade of some sort. And then after that there'll be the Canes. And then after that will be the pre-trade deadline first show of Headspace Hockey. Tyler, if you can just put that link up there again. And pin it for everyone. Can you pin it so people can
I'll post
click
it in
on.
the chat.
If you haven't,
here's the banner though. You know, you
if
and I were both looking this thing. I don't know if I can pin it through here, but I did just post a link. So
no, you can pin it now. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Yeah, so
there.
if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, turn on that notification for us, and we'll let you know when we come online live. It will be tentatively at 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. at night on March 5th. Not the 4th, it's on March 5th. So it's on Thursday, March the 5th. And we'll have a guest jump on with us to start the show, and that would be none other than Canuck Clay himself. So come join us. You're all invited. Make sure you sub and turn on that notification bell, and you'll know when we come on. We'll be talking a bit about hockey. We'll tell you why we're doing the channel and why we're doing the live. And like I said before even creating this, I'm still going to be doing post games with Tyler and then some other shows. But for trade deadline, we will probably do a collab with the new channel. So hopefully more people know about Headspace Hockey. It's for my advocacy for mental health and also hockey. That's why it's called Headspace Hockey. And for the people in the community that actually follow all of us, Swerve and Irvin will finally be able to talk his talk instead of just showing up on chats and showing up on people's streams and just doing open mics. You'll see him on a weekly basis, so that will be a fresh air for all of us, and hopefully he has more takes. But yeah, be prepared for all of that. And there's gonna be an interesting segment that we call BS that we'll do probably every week on a new topic. So if you want to hear that, come send us a sub. And yes, and no more free content. Yeah, so come on over to Headspace Hockey. It's pinned in the chat. Give us a sub and come on over and we'll have some fun. So as always, Tyler, thank you for having me, and thank you for letting us plug that in. And I can't wait for the crossover collab on trade deadline.
Yeah, definitely. Let me know once you get the X and Instagram accounts, up and running, and I will plug the shit out of those on my social media. Okay. I know I don't have, the same number of followers as, someone like Clay does, but I will plug the shit out of it. Absolutely, 100%. Do that.
Appreciate you.
The word. I can't wait for you guys' first episode. Literally, as soon as we sign off here, I'm going to go and subscribe to Headspace Hockey, and you should too. So there you go. You heard it here from me, even. Subscribe to Headspace Hockey. Let's get things going. And yeah, I honestly, despite, my little hand thing, I'm really looking forward to that trade deadline show. I think it's going to be great, that collab. And yeah, I am really happy for both you and Irv, for sure. I think this is great. And I'm actually glad while I was doing the scoreboard thing, you were able to, hold it down just so you can kind of get, familiar with, just doing things on, I know you're going to have Irv, but doing things like this on your own, not that you weren't already before, but, it's like what you said, give it a test run. That's a big reason why I decided to fix the scoreboard, in the end, give you a test run, whatnot. So yeah, I'm super happy for both you and Irv. And I can't say enough good things about this. This is going to be awesome.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. And look at that. We're at 203. Still 115 people in here. Like, granted, over 100 on X. But yeah, we'll do the usual signing off thing, or that I usually do, at least for these live streams. I don't do it for my pre-recorded videos anymore. I have that little 17-second audio that I have now. But if you guys enjoyed this post game, I know it feels like we hardly talked about the game, but it's like way at the beginning. So we do usually.
That was my test run.
We usually do go off on a tangent after we cover like the actual game, because there are other stuff we like talking about Canucks related, and maybe we should like have it as like a segment for after, or we'll go over that. We'll cross that bridge when we cross it. But if you enjoyed this post game show, be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed it, and if you want to stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks content on this channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any new content. Also, if you guys are interested, we do still have our merchandise store. I know I'm technically not wearing my merch, but you guys can check it out. That 1 year that 1 year anniversary collection is still available. Don't worry, it doesn't come with a sneeze. Don't worry, the shirts don't sneeze. We do still have our 1 year anniversary, which we have since passed. So yay. You guys can check it out at thelinechangepodcast.threadless.com. Join our official Discord. There was a link to it in the description down below. It's completely free to join. I am posting in that consistently, whenever I upload a pre-recorded video. Definitely check that out and be a part of the discussion. Also, if you want to find and interact with us on social media, we're everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, even Blue Sky. Feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. Speaking of platforms, if you prefer an audio version of this podcast, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. On Spotify, feel free to give us a follow, as well as rate and review us on either platform. It is, of course, greatly appreciated. Also, if you have a favorite episode that you just couldn't get enough of, you can download your favorite episode on either platform as well. That also really helps out the podcast as well. And of course, we are greatly appreciative of that as well. Man, that was a lot. So once again, if you guys enjoyed this post game, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Check out Headspace Hockey on YouTube. The YouTube channel is up. Check them out, subscribe to them, and thanks for tuning in, guys. G and I both appreciate every single one of you beautiful people, and we'll catch you guys in the next post game. I guess we'll end it there. Sorry. Yeah. I can't do that because of my wrist right now, and I'm right.
Oh damn. Okay. We'll just peace out. We'll see you next post game.
I'll quickly share this because I want to spread the love to Urban and you guys. But thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you guys on Monday in the next post game.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.